So come on in, take a sip. Let's wind down. We got a Tuesday grid ahead of us. We got the New York Times, and then we'll do the Guardian Cryptic. So yes, a beautiful Tuesday. Weather's kind of nice outside. It's a little overcast today, a little chilly to have the top down on the way home, but it is rather pleasant and it is dry. Speaking of dry, I picked up this 2021 Chianti Classico. And you can watch this pour. It is pretty easy to see through it. It is not a very deep red, but on the nose, typical Italian cassis that you just get so often in there. But this one, nice enough, has this wonderful overture of vanillas and maybe a bit of tobacco. On the palate, it's slightly tannic. I think the acids are more abound. Of course, it's dry. It is a good finisher. It might have done well to go through the aerator, but I have a feeling it's going to calm down significantly by the time I get to the Guardian, which will be just fine because I'll be well into this glass by then anyway. So, perfect. This is about an €8 buy. Just on the shelf, it looked good to me. And I'd give it like a 3.4 or 3.5. Not a bad wine at all. Probably want to limit yourself to lamb or beef, perhaps. Maybe if you're eating something like maybe like a Jaeger Schnitzel or something here in Bavaria. But not a bad wine at all. I know I'm going to drink the whole bottle tonight, so that ought to be one of the most amazing, testimonials, right? All right, let's hop into our grid and see what we got today. We got an Alex Eaton-Salners grid construction edited by Will Shorts. And so, I don't know, without any further ado, why don't we just get into it and see what we got going on here. So, island north of Jamaica, I'm thinking Cuba. And subsequently, I'm thinking about my parents' home in McQueenie, Texas, and how Hemingway-esque that is. So it's a nice memory, especially when my mother pulls out all the wine. Oh, she's got a good collection. So what to try clearing if a web page isn't loading? Perhaps we're talking the cache here. Greeting at sea. Now that got a little old on the old Virgin cruise. Oh, ahoy, sailor, ahoy, sailor. I was like, okay, got it. Moving on. DIY moving option. How about a U-Haul? So, person chosen by ballot. Maybe an electee. Maybe. Hold close to the heart. Perhaps is to hug. And Argentine author Jorge Luis. And I think that's Borges. I think. Edibury of the Bear, and I think that's Ayo. I mean, I really need to know more about this this individual. I know how to spell the name, but I couldn't tell you anything about them. So, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Beachgoers Take Along. Green Day. Tooth next to an incisor. So we have canines and cuspids, bicuspids. I'm going to go with canine. I didn't go to dental school, but I think it's a canine. Part of N.A. Not, none, I don't know yet. Let's see here. So, noteworthy. Give off is raised. Now this could be to emit, and this could be eminent. So emit, we'll try it, see what we got. Blacktop material. How about tar? And I'm not talking about you North Carolina types in your heels. I'm talking about tar. Nest egg options for short, perhaps IRAs. Stately French dance or its accompanying music. And I'm going to go with a minuet. I can't think of anything else it could be, to be honest with you. difficult burden may be. Oh, the onus, the albatross about my neck. Yeah, so I think we got imminent. And so these Red Hot Chili Peppers, outside of a really cool band from the 80s and 90s, and really I think probably now, I think we got a Carolina Reaper. I don't think I've had one of those yet, and I do want to try it. A fragile juxtaposition of land, oceans, and clouds, per Neil deGrasse Tyson, and I think we're talking about the Earth. I'm a huge fan of his. Old hand could be a pro. Assert could be a ver. So a chocolate or peppermint could be flavor. Flavor. Double Dutch need. How about a rope? Cold treat that might be topped with sprinkles and crushed Oreos. Oh my gosh, I would go into a sugar coma. I think this might be a froyo. Short conjunctions, ors. Romantic sort, probably a lover. So quit your complaining. All right then. I think I will. I think I'll just stop. Takes it a bit too far on stage. Well, spark. Maybe overacts. As a matter of fact, venomous symbols of Egyptian royalty. That does speak volumes to them, doesn't it? So Green Day could be St. Patrick's, and that's clever too. So I guess we're playing off of some bands today, and probably the more pragmatic definitions. I'm not sure. I'm kind of liking it. SNL segment could be a skit. Swab, how about a Q-tip? And so their exact words were, and I quote, imperatives, how about musts? La Blanc, region of central Spain, and that would be La Mancha. I'm pretty sure. Sao Tome and Principe. Okay. Getting into beautiful Africa now. Lay. Earth, wind, and fire. This looks like elements here, doesn't it? I'll bet you we're going to go with Greek elements, because that's what they were. So let's see. Beachgoers take along could be lotion. Driving me crazy up there. I just had to get that solved. And then I will get back to the others. I had to check Greek elements. That was kind of a... Well, it was kind of a gamble to just throw that big old long thing in there. So let's see. The thinker, sculptor, be Auguste Rodin. But the real winner in that little bouquet, if you will, would be Camille Claudin. Feature of the Bronte sisters, but not the Brothers Grimm. I was going to say Der Brüder Grimm. So Bronte, I think we're looking for a diaeresis here, but I'm not, I'm used to there being an A, and I'm not quite sure how we're spelling it. So anger could be rage. Analogous could be akin. And so pod and Creole cooking could be okra. And a bud holder. Clever. Yeah, so I think we have diaeresis, but I'm just used to an A being in there. And so this threw me off. I didn't have enough room. The E of the EGOT would be the Emmy of the Grammy, Oscar, Tony, Quaternaire. Let's see. Korean dish similar to sushi rolls, and I think the kimbap. I think. Specials may not be found on it. How about the menu? Of course not. They might be giants. Istanbul was Constantinople. Massive. 3 letters. How about we just go with big? Fill at a station. Okay, how about gas up then? Menzel of Frozen. I don't know. I think I've seen this once before. Is it Edina? Abbreviation on a tube of crest. How about the American Dental Association? And so they might be giants, could be baseball players. A very clever grid, Alex Eaton-Salners. I mean, really. Sometimes I feel like Tuesdays be that day to publish where you're not going to get a lot of, it's not a Saturday. It's not a ginormous Sunday. It's not a rebus rich, Thursday or, that head stumping, Friday. I don't know. It seems like it'd be one of those thankless days to publish. But this is a fabulous puzzle. Nairobi is its largest city. How about Kenya? Pen filler could be ink. Very nice. And converse could be to talk. And ever since my mother got my pen repaired for me, I gotta tell you, having that back in my hands is just an amazing feeling. I loved putting that together in that video. I think it was Saturday. It was so cool. So we got the Kit Kat bar coming in here today. Control V is to paste, or Command V, though I use a PC at work. Interjection that's composed only of the consonants and takes to task. Well, that is fabulous. So prepare for a trick could be to pack. German explanation. Ach du Liebe. So Agatha Christie detective. Now we're lucky to have this M and this P. Otherwise Poirot would have fit in there just fine too. I can see the confusion. Marpole takes as a credit card, perhaps accepts. So orb could be a sphere. The Texans on scoreboards could be Houston. Dude. Brah. Or maybe a bruh, actually, because I think this is secular. Lay, it would be great for secular. And kapow could be blam. And one of the A's in AAA, I guess, Traveler's alternative to JFK would probably be LaGuardia. So we've got a gala here, which is a red carpet affair. Very good. Ursa Major. So Susan Sarandon. Probably a torso between the waist and the neck. And so we've got a yup here and a P on there. And how do we do, Bob? Okay, so this was an absolutely well-gated Tuesday grid. Alex Eaton-Salners. I was a little thrown back by the AMER abbreviation. Other than that, no, everything in this was really great. And I tell you what, a Tuesday's a tough day to pull together. It's got to be a little bit more tricky than a Monday, but not quite a Wednesday. Just the different rules and stuff. But this was a really good grid and an outstanding triumph, really, in so many ways to pull that off. So well done, Alex Eaton-Salners. We'll go ahead and bring down our bannière d'adieu. And as always, I just want to say thank you to everybody for liking and for commenting, for subscribing. It's always wonderful to hear from you, and I love it when our viewers decide to make their presence more permanent, right? And subscribing is free. You're not forced to watch it, right? But it is nice to have those members there and to watch it grow. And the channel's been growing exponentially, more than I ever thought it would. I mean, let's face it, crosswords, it's a pretty niche community, right? But I am really pleased to see that, and that just speaks volumes. I can see that people are sharing. You're putting it out there, they give us that data, how people find the channel, and a lot of it is through you sharing it on social media or in a text message to a friend, etc. And that means the world to me, and so thank you. And until we see you next time, which should be the Hump Day Grid tomorrow, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss, Servus, Grüß Gott, Ciao, Cin-Cin. Be well, take care, and do your level best to be as nice as you can to the person behind you in line. We could all use that right now. Cheers.